Okay, I have been working up the courage to post a video on here for like a week now, and I can't seem to do it. So I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna post whatever the fuck I say. This is gonna be like a little Carly journal for myself and whoever else feels like fucking watching it. Okay, so I had a suicide attempt fairly recently. It's not funny, I'm not laughing. And it was very serious. I was supposed to be dead. I'm supposed to be dead right now, but I'm not dead because like apparently I have some shit to take care of. And this was in February, like February 22nd actually. I was in the hospital for about 2 weeks, and then I went to a partial hospitalization program, which is like from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. You get to go home and you don't have to go on the weekends. And they did a lot of groups and like individual therapy there. I just got discharged from that on Tuesday. Today I'm filming this. It's Saturday night. This will probably be on Sunday. And I can't even begin to talk about this shit. Like first of all, I'm having a big problem with the fact that I never realized the severity of my situation until now. When I was hospitalized, I'm 19 now. I haven't been hospitalized since I was 17. When I was 17, I was still underage, so I was on the adolescent unit. This time I was on the college age unit, so you're over 18 and you're in college. It's like a thing at this hospital. It helps you like withdraw from classes, and I withdrew for the spring semester. So I'm not in the spring semester, but I'm still enrolled in my community college that I was going to. So I'm going to start back up in September, hopefully. And I'm having a lot of trouble with the fact that I just realized how serious this was, and it took me so long. Like, I had to hit rock fucking bottom to the point where I was getting dialysis to keep me alive. Like, I mean, to post it on this channel is kind of risky because a lot of people I know from like my town watch my videos, and it's not that I don't want people to know, because like people already know because I've talked about it before, but it's like I just feel like a broken record sometimes, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like I talk about this shit so often that it's like fucking annoying, and I don't want to seem annoying, but I also feel like I need a platform to get my point across, because this can't go on anymore. Like, I know way too many people with these same problems, and it's like it is growing and growing and growing every day. This shit has to stop. First of all, in high school, we were never taught about this shit. You know, when I first had anxiety, I was like, what the fuck is happening to me? You know, and like learning from experience is good and everything, but I feel like you should learn a little bit before you experience mental illness, because when I was 16 when I first had a manic episode, and I had no idea what was going on. All of a sudden I didn't need to sleep and I didn't need to eat, and I was getting skinny, and people were talking to me, and I had the social skills to talk to them, and I was running, working and running around with my friends and drinking Red Bulls, and I was feeling amazing. And then comes the crash, and I was like, where is this good feeling? Why is it gone? And then of course I found myself in the hospital. I just feel like you shouldn't have to get to that point. You know, I feel like it can be prevented pretty easily with just a little bit of education. I just feel like now I get looked at a different way than I used to. And that bothers me a lot, because I don't think that I need to get looked at a different way. And it's just like, I kind of want to just get my point out right then and there and just be like, yeah, I got scars all over my arms and my legs, and I'm gonna fucking show them. So don't get weird when you see me in public. Like, is it really that hard? Like, I really don't think that it's that fucking hard. And I was doing so good for a year, and the pressure was just like, Carly, you have to do good. You can't slip back to your old ways. You can't slip back to your old ways. You can't slip back to your old ways. And the horrifying thought of me slipping back to my old ways made me slip back into my old ways. And I didn't even know until it was too late that I was losing my fucking mind. And I would not wish that upon the worst of enemies, because one point I was feeling great, and then months go by and I'm kind of going through the motions and I don't even know it, but you'll be having a conversation with me. Physically, yes, I'll be there. Physically, yes, it will look like I'm listening to you, but I am somewhere else mentally, and I'm not listening to you at all, and I have not been there mentally for a long time, and I'm getting back there, but it's just really, really hard. And I feel like I didn't even know that I was losing my mind until I found myself doing what I did. And I don't want to get into my whole suicide attempt here, but it was bad. It was really, really bad. There was a point they thought that I was gonna die. And when I woke up, the doctor said that I'm supposed to be dead. And I'm a little horrified at myself, and it's gonna take me a long time. Like, I was just starting to forgive myself from what happened 3 years ago, and now I'm trying to forgive myself. This is gonna take me a really long time to forgive myself for what I've done. Just thinking about it makes me want to throw up. I could seriously just like pass out right here just thinking about what I did. And I will not be able to forgive myself for a long time, but that's definitely something that I need to work on. And I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna work on it. The biggest thing that I've learned from this experience is that mental illness is serious. It's not a joke. It's not a quirk. It's not something you just have, like you have like eczema, you have bipolar disorder. Like, no, it's not the same thing. I feel like a lot from all the way from elementary school, we were always talking about physical health and don't be obese, be healthy, this and that. As many people say now, mental health and physical health are of equal importance. And I feel like it's never too early to start talking about that. I mean, I guess I feel like it should begin to be talked about at the beginning of high school, freshman year, because in middle school I took a health class in 7th grade, and we did talk about like signs of someone who's suicidal a little bit, but I don't really relate to those. It was a lot of like, if people are giving their shit away, stuff like that. Like, I just remember that, and like, I don't know anyone who was like giving their shit away before they tried to kill themselves, but maybe that's just me, I don't know. And I just feel like it was super brief, and I feel like when people talk about mental illness, shit gets weird. Bring up mental illness one time in a group of your friends, and don't tell me that like things will get weird, people will get silent, things get so weird, and things shouldn't be getting this weird. There's clearly something wrong if we can't talk about this like we talk about eating healthy and this and that, and like exercise. Like, exercise of the mind is important too. And nobody seems to understand that, and it's very frustrating because, you know, while we were doing those running and those jumping jacks and this and that and learning about the food pyramid, we should have also been learning about keeping our brains clean and keeping our thoughts okay, and learning the signs, and just realizing like, if you think you're going crazy, you're not the only one. Because when this was happening to me, I was afraid. I was very, very scared to say anything. I was like, this is not happening to any of my friends. Am I the only fucking one who feels this fucking crazy? It was very scary, and until I had a bunch of people that were going through the same shit as me, it was like, oh my fucking god. I'm horrified right now. But it took a while. Like, we have all these like people come and talk about stuff, and I just feel like in high schools especially, someone should be brought in that has a mental illness and talk about it. It's very hard, and people look at me differently now, and I understand that. I got scars all over my body. Like, why the fuck does this bitch have scars all over her body? Things could be so much better if people were just educated on this. I feel like so many suicides and suicide attempts could be prevented just by like simple education on these topics. And when you're spiraling out of control, it's really hard, especially when you the first time you spiral out of control, just like me. It's hard to realize that you're spiraling out of control because you want everything to be normal. I was doing good my sophomore year. That was my first year without my glasses and my braces, and I felt good about myself. When things started to go downhill, I had no reason for things going downhill. I was in a good place. I was on the track team. I had all my friends. I felt good about myself, and I was a little confident. I was even a little confident, and then I was depressed, and I had no reason behind it, and I was trying to think of reasons, and I just kept saying like, nah, I can't be sad. I can't be sad. I can't be sad. Why am I sad? I have no reason to be sad, so I'm clearly not sad. It's clearly all in my head. I have a lot to fix. I just feel like at the age of 19, one should not be so mentally exhausted. I feel like this could have been prevented by just a little education. I think we're getting closer to that. I think we're getting a lot closer to realizing mental illness. Oh my god, there's this wonderful little like organization. I really don't know what it is, but I follow them on Instagram and Snapchat, and it's called Hope for the Day. And it's like a lot around the punk scene, like the Warped Tour and like punk bands, like popular punk bands now. Because a lot of kids in the punk scene, I just say punk scene because it's like, I don't know, in the punk world seem to have similar issues, including myself. I mean, people younger than me, but I had these issues before I was into punk music. Actually, I was really into Green Day, but that was about the extent of it. And it's very, very nice. It just posts, they post like all these little things, and it's like, it's okay to not be okay. And I think I think that's like a really, really fucking important thing to say, because there's kids out there who are 15 and 16 following that, what that says, and reading those posts every morning just like I am. And if I had something like that when I was 16, I don't even know if that was around when I was 16, I don't think it was. But if I had something like that, I would have felt so much better. I wouldn't have felt alone. I felt so alone because I didn't know anyone who had gone through that. And now it's like I know so many people. I was never alone. And that's the biggest thing, that you have to realize that you're not alone. And I know it's so cliche, people say that all the time, but it's cliche because it's true. You're not fucking alone. You'll never be alone. So many people are going through what you're going through. And just like this, YouTube is a platform where people talk about things like that. You know, you don't have to watch beauty videos. You know, there's a whole other side to YouTube where people talk about mental health. There's so many mental health YouTubers that I look up to that I think are amazing and give amazing advice and have changed my perspective on things. And I think that's fucking amazing. I keep saying amazing, but it's amazing. So I think that that's something that definitely needs to be worked on, is that knowing that people aren't alone, and educating ourselves on these issues before we find ourselves in too deep. And I think it's really important that it's okay to not be okay. So really, go check Hope for the Day, because they are awesome, awesome people. And they always like put lyrics to like all these like bands' songs, and like I'm a big punk fan, but even if you're not a punk fan, they're very relatable. It's just really, really nice. Because again, you're not, you know, fucking insane. I guess that's really important. It's like that you're not, it's okay to not be okay. You know, you're not the only one feeling this way, and you're not completely crazy, if that makes sense. Like, you're not crazy for feeling this way, because it's not. You're not crazy. You just have a little thing. It's in your mind. It's in your brain. But yeah, I'm so tired now, and I think I'm just gonna try to do videos like this more, because I can't do all those like I look up to the YouTubers that can do those like 5 tips for this and like do this and that. I just can't do it. I can never bring myself to upload videos like that, because I don't feel sincere, because like I'm doing good now, but I wasn't doing good for a really long time. And I just don't think that I'm ready to give other people advice like that. Hopefully I will be soon, but for now I'm just gonna talk, because getting my feelings out on a platform for others to see, I think, can be helpful. So thank you for watching, and if you have any advice for me, that would be fucking amazing. So please feel free to leave me a comment. Thank you.